Hi guys, welcome back to the Forgetful Scholar. Let's chat about books. So this week is a DNF and then Vengeful X. So let's get the DNF out of the way, okay? So it was Dirty Billionaire, book one of the Dirty Billionaire trilogy by Meghan, by Meghan March. Sorry, that was completely off the page. Now, to be fair, when I picked it up, and this is on me, I should check the back of it and everything. I didn't realize it had to do with the music industry, and I just don't like romance novels that have to do with the music industry. It's just something about it. You know, I don't fantasize or fantalize. No, fantasize. Yeah, fantalize means something completely different. But I don't fantasize, what the music industry is like. You know, I think it's kind of a pretty hostile place, and if you can make it, that's amazing. Kudos to you. But also, it isn't like this golden dream a lot of people, I think, might think it is. I don't know. I'm not a fan, and I've tried like rock ones. And this one's a country music one, and it opens up with Holly. She's the heroine. And the hero, I didn't even get to the part where the hero is physically introduced. His name is, what the is his name? I can't be pronouncing this right. Cretan? Crichton? I'm gonna go with Crichton, not Cretan. Okay, so Holly is an up-and-comer country music singer. She won a contest, and then she had to sign this contract. But the contract said that she has to pretend to be this other country singer, this male country singer, girlfriend for a year. So it opens up with a picture on a magazine of the country music the male that she's pretending to date in a romantic situation with another female that has a strap on. We're all adults here, you know. I could insinuate pegging. We're all adults, right? Okay. If you're not adult, go away. That's all. So, okay. So I get what the writer was trying to do. I do. And she's in the supermarket, and she runs into a big country singer who has a baby, and I guess that was from a previous book. And also another thing this author didn't do was kind of a quick rundown of the previous books, because obviously this is like in the middle of some expanded universe they have, and totally fair. To be fair, there was enough there for me to get like, oh, they had their own, this country music singer this big one that Holly ran into in the supermarket, her and her husband, they had their own book. Okay, there's enough that I could get that, but not enough of the rundown. So that's fine. I will say the dialogue between the two girls, especially after a couple of drinks, seems very real to me, very realistic, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I don't know why I was surprised by cuss words. I was like, yeah, people use cuss words all the time. I guess I'm not used to reading cuss words in novels, like in dialogue, I guess. Anyway. And the thing is, it's depicted that the guy she's pretending to date, she's not really dating him, so he did not cheat on her. It's humiliating her publicly, and like he's bisexual, and that's why the contract is, so she has to make him look good, and it's ruining her own budding career. And I was like, so like most of that did not sit right with me. So it was like, okay, we're supposed to sympathize with you for being publicly humiliated, okay, but he's not actually cheating on you. You guys aren't actually together. And this could be my own mood going into it, but so I'm not gonna like be like, yo, oh my gosh, I can't believe they wrote this. But like reading it, I took it, and this could already be like, I didn't like Holly, I didn't like her at all. So this could be like my own opinion coloring it. But it did seem like we were supposed to think this big country singer was gross because he was bisexual. And I was like, I don't know. That has to be just my own, like, oh man, I really hate Holly and I'm not having a good time influence on that book. Because no way, right? No way. I hope not, because that's messed up. And like, the big country singer that found Holly in the supermarket, they're at her place, the husband comes in, you know, all this stuff. And basically we're supposed to feel bad for Holly and hate the country singer guy that she's pretending to be dating because he's reckless and all this stuff. And I'm just like, the only person in this story that I feel bad about is actually the country singer fake boyfriend that we're supposed to like think is gross, because like they're not dating, so he didn't cheat. He's bisexual and apparently he has to hide it. So at best, a paparazzi from like telephoto lens into a private moment. At worst, the person he was sleeping with betrayed him and basically revenge porn and put him all over. So like, I'm supposed to hate that guy. Like that's what the writer wants. And like feel bad for Holly and root for Holly. And I was like, Holly kind of sucks. Because all she cared about was her own career. Like, how dare he humiliate her? She's stuck. This is horrible. And like, okay, you're not even friends with this guy. You're not really dating. So I can understand, you know, you're trying to be successful in this really hard business. So I kind of gave her a little leeway in that. But like, the bad mouthing, the guy kept going. And I was like, well, it's more his record label that you should be pissed off. And she was a little bit. But like, everybody just like piled on this guy that the writer really didn't want you to like. But I'm like, I feel bad for him. That really sucks. You know what I mean? Like, this is basically revenge porn. And he can't be open about his bisexuality in this world. So yeah, he drinks a lot and he does a lot of like narcotics and stuff like that. That kind of happens when you're forced into the closet one way or the other. You self-destruct, right? I mean, that's kind of what we've learned, you know? So I'm like, I don't hate him. I feel bad for him. Poor thing, you know? And it would have been different if she like called him directly and talked to him about it. And if he was a jerk then. And I don't know later in the book if he turns out to be a jerk anyway. I don't know. I kind of stopped like chapter 2. I think. I don't even know if I got to past chapter 1, to be honest. So I was already like, ugh, music industry. Ooh, okay, let's give it a try. So like, I don't know. Maybe he's a jerk later on, but he, you know, we don't, in the first chapter, we're supposed to hate him. And like, I didn't find a reason to hate him. I found a reason to be like, oh man, that sucks. And I think I would have liked Holly a lot more if they were friends. And she was like, hey bro, can you just like, try not to get caught for my own career, and how are you doing? Like if she was a little bit more sympathetic, like even a little bit, because like think about it, like you're in an intimate moment, right? And someone took pictures and plastered all over the tabloids without your consent. Like that is horrible. So like if she was a little bit more like sympathetic, I would have liked her, but it was just like me. And then how the hero gets introduced, he's on the cover of Forbes, and Holly sees it when she's having drinks with the big country music star, and that she befriended in the supermarket. And she's just like, and she reads about him. And I stopped there because like I could already see the plot unwinding. She's gonna go on him. She's like, hey, let's fake a relationship so the tabloids don't rip me apart anymore, and I could have a big career again. Start superficial, and then fake dating turns into real. Like I already saw it written out, like in my mind's eye, and I was like, oh, okay, no, I'm not gonna deal with this. Because it, again, Holly seemed really superficial because she's like, oh, look at that hot guy on this cover of Forbes. He's a millionaire or billionaire, and he's hot. Yeah, that will show him. And I'm like, what are you, fucking 12? Like, is this an episode of Degrassi? Like that is so immature. I was like, man, you know what I mean? I just couldn't. I had to stop like right there after she read the quote of him and how he like goes after it and doesn't let anything stand in his way. I was like, I'm done. I can't. This is like page 10 and I'm miserable. I hate everyone involved except the fake boyfriend. And the only reason I don't hate him is because he hasn't actually been on the page except for his revenge porn. He could be a complete asshole later. I don't know. And I was like, I'm done. If I don't like the male, I don't like the, like, I was just done. Alrighty, music industry, everything else, I was done. So that's why I DNFed that one. I feel like I DNF a lot of like best-selling authors. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. Okay, anyway. So the second book is The Monk, Castle Rehm, Book 3 by Meghan Dare. And this is the end of the trilogy. There we go. And this is Daniel with a T. So Daniel and Corsair. I always pronounce that name incorrectly. Corsair. It's a very cool word. Anyway, sorry. Daniel is Kohar's, who's the first mage in the first book's little brother, and he ended up there because of his vengeful ex, and this is super paranormal fantasy. And the book I DNF'd is FM contemporary. Anyway, so basically for the 3 books, his ex Vasari. There's a G in there. When I was reading it internally, I was like, Vasari. And I couldn't get my brain to put the G in there, so I'm just going to keep pronouncing it that way, sorry. So Vasari has been terrorizing Castle Rehm and its inhabitants for 3 books. The first book, he summoned a succubus to kill people off. The second book, he helps the army try to destroy them. This book, he has all these rooms set up around the village. And these rooms are and a succubus who killed a bunch of people is like a level 3? No, a low level demon. And this one, he's trying to summon a high level demon that will destroy the whole village. Like, just suck them dry. Not in a succubus kind of way, but like, it sounded sort of like a vampire that creates zombies out of its victims. That's what it sounded like. So I was like, okay. Interesting demon lore. So the whole time, this one I gave it 3 stars. I didn't enjoy it as much as the other 2. I did still enjoy myself. It's just Talon's Daniel. I have to go with Daniel. Okay. So Daniel, internal monologue, external monologue, he kept calling himself like the poor little boy orphan. And I get what the writer wanted to convey, but I think once or twice would have been enough. It almost felt like the writer put it down, worked on another project, then came back and didn't realize how many times they put in that phrase. So it got a little repetitive. It got a lot repetitive. I was like, dude, we get it. You have an inferiority complex. Chill. Like, enough. You know? Like, the writer already put that out there. It was done. We understood that was part of his personality and, stuff like that. And he's very compassionate. He feels so bad about all the deaths that Vasari has like put on, the castle inhabitants. And he's like, I shouldn't have come here. Oh no. And he's had a huge crush on Corsair, who is the lieutenant and second in command to Narek, who is his brother's boyfriend. He didn't think Corsair was interested, and Corsair didn't think that Daniel was over his ex, so he didn't even try. So of course, they get together, and that's really cute. I like their banter back and forth. I liked how their relationship progressed. I really like that with all 3 books, even though they're short novellas. I love how it feels like a full story, and the characters develop fully. Like, it just feels rich. I love the magical system. It's very fascinating. And I loved how, a little bit of spoiler, but I loved how Daniel stops Vasari once and for all. Like, I love that he was the one to do it. I love that we were with him as he did it. It wasn't done off the page. It was very fascinating. And it had consequences for him too. There was one part that I just didn't get. Sort of like the beginning of the 3rd act. Vasari's family just blamed Daniel for him disappearing and beat the crap out of him. Like, it kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, that's a weird part to put in the story. I don't know. Like, are they working for Vasari? Or are they under his... Like, it didn't really tie in, I thought. It felt a little... Oh, let me fill some stuff in, kind of a feel to it. That's why this book out of the 3 is 3 stars. I will say the series overall, I would give it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. I like the characters. I felt like I understood all the characters and their motivations. The action and like everything that was going on, it felt like it had heavy consequence. The world was really fully built up and rich. The pacing was fantastic. Nothing felt like a novella. Nothing felt like a short story. Everything felt full and rich. So there we go. Okay. I don't want to, but it's time for me to get back to the real world. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.